As the sun begins to set here and the lights fire up at Buttermilk Mountain, it creates an epic backdrop here for X Games Aspen 2019 and the return of Snowmobile Freestyle. Welcome everyone, Jimmy Coleman here in the booth alongside Chris Morant. We've got Diana Dahlgren out in the field. In the 11 prior times this event has been contested here at the X Games, we've had 7 different gold medalists. 4 of them are in the field here tonight. However, all eyes are on your returning gold medalist from last year, Brett Turcotte, Chris.
Yeah, Jimmy, Brett is so hungry. He got the taste of the gold last year, not only getting his first gold medal, but winning 2 gold medals. He has got his eye on this competition tonight. He is the only rider, in my opinion, bringing progression to the sport of freestyle right now.
Hey, and progression is the name of the game. The judges love to see innovative and new tricks. However, there are going to be 7 other riders in the field that are going to have something to say about it out here, including what I mentioned to Joe Parsons, because why he holds the most gold medals in this event at 3, and he's the only guy who has ever taken back-to-back gold medals in this event, which were the 2 years prior to Brett Turcotte's win.
Yeah, I'm looking at Joe's smooth style. He's going to be a contender, but we also got the wild card, Daniel Bodin. I think Bodin, if he can throw down those big tricks that he's known for, he could be on the podium as well.
He's one of those former gold medalists. Bodin got his all the way back in 2011, so I agree with you. I'll walk that plank as well. Never, ever count him out. So 8 riders in the field out here tonight. The way it works at Snowmobile Freestyle, they're going to get 2 attempts apiece. The runs are 75 seconds in length. It's the better of your 2 runs that count. We started off with a gentleman from Manitoba, Canada. Now, he has 3 prior X Games appearances, Chris. He's never medaled. The closest that he's gotten to a medal was a speed style 5th place, which was last year. Now, in addition to being a professional rider, he also works as a grain farmer in Manitoba when he's not out competing or performing in shows.
Yeah, it's been great to see Josh's progression as a freestyle rider. The key for Josh is he has 6 big tricks. Just make sure you trick every jump. That's the most important thing that the judges are looking for is amplitude and smoothness.
Yeah, you don't want to see you tentative. They want to see great extension. They want to see guys getting partially off of the sled and then coming back on. You really have to put it all out there and make it happen in the span of that 75 seconds.
And when I talk about amplitude, that's a trick right there. That was a backflip knack. Not quite the extension you want in a trick like that. You're looking to get full extension, and that's what the judges are looking for.
Well, speaking of full extension, getting it right there, but again, anytime you're going to do a variation that lets you completely let go of the sled, that's also going to net you some points in the difficulty department as well.
So you saw right there, those bars on Josh's handlebars, those are called flip levers. That
coming in a little hot there on the landing out of that Cordova flip.
What those bars do is, in a flip, they actually put pressure to the back of your arm, stopping the rotation of your body so it doesn't go forward of the sled.
So as he gets through that final turn and he gets underpowered, time will expire. However, this last jump will count. Or excuse me, it was a heel cleaner flip earlier. My bad, there was the Cordova flip. So he was underpowered. If you are in the straightaway and underpowered, the buzzer sounds, you do get that final jump to count.
And that's the knack flip I was talking about. Not full extension, bringing that leg all the way back around, but still, again, Josh with the first run.
So this is the one he went a little bit deep. This was the heel clicker flip. Oh yeah, he got a little sideways. That angle shows you. What causes that, Chris? What causes you to get that completely sideways coming out of a flip rotation?
Well, what's crazy is when you're coming off of the ramp, you're wide open. And any little tweak off of the lip, when you're wide open, you have a lot of rotating mass with the track, will cause a little bit of turn in that sled in the air.
So a decent score to start it off with a 76.33. However, maybe going to have to add a little more technical variety in that next run and definitely clean up a few spots right there. But Josh Penner has set the bar here with a 76.33. This gentleman right here is the owner of a speed and style bronze medal, which he got last year. His first ever X Games medal coming your way out of Twin Falls, Idaho. We're welcoming in Willie Elam.
Big extension on that backflip from Willie. What I love about Willie, he is just a gifted individual on a snowmobile. Whether it's snowcross, speed and style, or freestyle, he's got a very fluid and and smooth style.
Floated into the cutouts there with the double grab at the end of that one. You can kind of see, you mentioned those flip levers earlier on. You can see him flipping the right one up there as he gets lined up for this third jump.
Wow, that's a big trick for Willie, a seat grab backflip. You know, it's so crazy and intimidating talking to these guys. You know, when you're letting off of the snowmobile in a backflip, it's trying to pull your body away from the sled.
So under 30 seconds to go here. Another backflip combo there for Willie Elam.
These are big tricks from Willie, and it's great to see this in his first run. I think coming into the second run, if he can pull these with a little more extension, he's going to be
and that's the thing right there. Yes, it's later in the run. There's a little bit of time left on the clock, but with 75 seconds, you're going to get about 6, maybe 7 jumps. And the judges, they're critiquing every last little bit of this. They want to see perfection. And wow,
big extension there.
So we're being told that last one's not going to count. However, you mentioned extension. That was exemplary of that right there. However, unfortunately for Willie, that last one is now going to count on the overall score of the run.
Yeah, you can see this is awesome. A big holy grab, fully letting go of the snowmobile. Really, I mean, that's a big trick. And if he can just, we can't have the straighters. The competition in this year's and every year's of X Games is you cannot have a straight air.
It's a great angle right there. Again, the high mark to beat right now is 76.33, set by Josh Penner, who opened up competition here. Willie sits her winning score, so he'll do a little bit better than Josh there. He'll get a 78.66, so a little over 2 points higher right there. But again, going back to what you said, clean that up just a little bit. Not so tentative there in run number 2. You can see that score jump up quite a bit. The youngest guy in the field at 24 years old, just missed the podium last year in the Snowmobile Freestyle event, had to settle for 4th place all the way from Sweden for his first of 2 attempts. This is Rasmus Johansson.
There is a following in Sweden of some crazy riders, and Rasmus fits right into that group. You know, these guys are just going incredibly big out in the backcountry, and it's awesome to see. Wow, that was huge.
Great extension on the first flip combo.
Again, Rasmus looked a little tentative in practice. I really hope that he can pull these big tricks in this run and put it together like I know he can.
Sometimes that's all it takes, you know, practice, you get some of the jitters, you overthink it a little bit, but then all of a sudden you hear your name announced out there in the crowd, the lights are on and it's go time, and you just go into autopilot mode and you make it happen.
I actually was terrible in practice during my competing days, but when the lights came on, it was go time, I seemed to do all right.
Hey, sometimes when you get out there and win practice, it works against you in the contest, and then when it's go time, you just make it happen. Coming out of Sweden, he lives in the land of the midnight sun. He sometimes spends 18 to 20 hours at a time training, riding during the winter. Wow.
Whoa, it's a little sideways on that landing, was able to pull it. This is a really good run. And like I said, to be able to pull it all together in tonight's show versus practice where he was struggling is great to see.
Clicking those heels here on that backflip. Maybe just narrowly tasting the podium last year. That 4th place finish, that was enough. That was enough to motivate him to light that fire. And he's obviously feeling it right now as he's putting together a great first run here. Oh, going a little hot there, and the hand blows off the right side of the bars. However, we're being told that one will not count as well. So good save right there for the young man from Sweden, as that one will not count on the overall impression of the run.
Yeah, you saw Rasmus pump his, oh, look at that, even with an Indy flare there.
Wow, okay. So your 3-in-1 combo there. Your heart attack flip, or excuse me,
Indy flip.
KOD flip Indy.
Huge extension there. Love when they just poke that and hold that for a bit.
Well, that's the thing. You get those legs together and you hold that as long as you possibly can right there. And there was a great replay of that.
Look at that pull off of the lip. That's the key to the backflip, especially, I mean, look at this. This is textbook.
I mean, you're taking something that is almost 500 pounds and you're inverting yourself on top of it while you're taking the entire apparatus upside down. And we are into the 80s. Rasmus Johansson with an 85 flat right there to put himself in the top spot in the opening half of round 1 of 2 here in Snowmobile Freestyle. We are in the Swedish portion of the lineup out here. We talked about this guy being one of your returning gold medalists. Daniel Bodin got his gold medal back in 2011. He has a best trick gold, 3 best trick golds, and a silver. But what can he do here tonight? In freestyle, it's all about putting together multiple tricks, combining them in a 75-second run to try to impress these judges. Time starts when they hit the first lip. He is under power, so here we go with Daniel Bodin.
Wow, just, you know, Bodin being a very lengthy, tall guy, much like a Travis Pastrana. You can see that tallness show in the extension on his tricks.
Yeah, it definitely makes the extension look super good, whether he's doing it on a snowmobile or on a dirt bike. A very accomplished freestyle motocross rider as well. By the way, first person to ever land a double backflip on a snowmobile. Did that back in January 23rd of 2017 back in his home country of Sweden.
Wow, Bodin is such a wild card for me because he has some of the biggest tricks in the competition, and it's all about can he put the run together. And one thing Daniel struggled on a little bit is his smoothness with the landings.
Making that one look super good right there, coming down to the final 20 seconds here. Yeah, and speaking of landings, he had some issues last year with the deterioration of the landings in the competition. He actually asked about that last night in the riders meeting. He actually crashed last year, broke ribs crashing after a seat grab heart attack flip gone wrong last season, so he's definitely concerned about that coming into 2019.
Looks like this will not count.
Yeah, again, you have to be under power and in the straightaway for the last jump to count. So this one, just for the fans here at Buttermilk Mountain. However, that's a pretty strong run there for Daniel Bodin as well. Again, Rasmus Johansson set the bar with that 85 there prior to Daniel. But going back to your point about the extension, you know, that tall, lanky frame, he just makes these tricks just look super, super extended.
Well, what's just absolutely crazy is Daniel broke his right wrist just 5 weeks ago. Oh my goodness, look at that.
The Cordova flip, just that hurts my back just watching that every time.
Daniel came into this event potentially having to run a twist grip because he couldn't get the extension with his thumb, but he thought that would affect his tricks, so he stuck with the standard thumb throttle.
And a huge run, and we're into the 80s for Mr. Bodin as well, so the Swedes are faring well here in the opening half of round number 1. He will check in with an 88.33 to put him in the top spot. So we have gone through half the field here in round number 1. We still have our top 4 riders still to go when we come back to X Games Aspen.
That's only 4 competitors. We've got 4 more. We're not even halfway. We're only a quarter of the way through this competition. We still have 4 runs to go, and then everybody gets another run. We're so excited. We should give ourselves a break. We'll send it down to Tristan Merrick, who's standing by at the bottom of the course there. That's right, guys. We're halfway through. It's pretty crazy what you see. I'm standing with Rasmus Johansson right now. About this last year, 4th place. So close. What did you do in the offseason this year?
Actually, I worked a lot during the summer, and then I started practicing early on my snowmobile, practicing home. And I went to my buddy in Finland, Willie Elam, did some focus sessions. And yeah, I'm putting the time to be here, and I'm super stoked to be here also.
Do you feel maybe there's a change in the guard? Obviously, we know your background. You met these guys super young. Your name's been on the radar. It's been coming with the 4th last year. You feel like, you know, now's the time to start right step on that road.
jumps that you're looking at today are kind of a rider's standard. We always kind of ride the same distance in competition, so that the tricks that we learn are going to be the same if we're jumping different locations. It's nice to show up to a comp and just know that you're dialed in and your distance is exactly how you trained. This one's really simple, 2-jump setup, and both the same, 75-foot gaps, and you're going off of a 51-degree ramp, 10 foot tall. The course here, you see this green carpet, and then if you look at the ramps, you'll see a track down the middle. That way we can go run after run after run, hit the jump hundreds of times and not have a bunch of stuff to fix. And then you'll see the track on the ramp, that's pure traction. So when we're doing these big gnarly backflips, you're wide open throttle, 150 to 180 horse motors, and you are straight pulling hard, and the track is designed to give you traction so that you can spin around.
Welcome back, everyone, to X Games Aspen 2019 here at Buttermilk Mountain. We're in the middle of round number 1 here in Snowmobile Freestyle, and that was Heath Frisby on that course preview, which, if you can believe it or not, was shot entirely on an iPhone. But it is a packed house out here on the mountain, and as of right now, we've dropped 4 riders, and it's Daniel Bodin sitting in the lead with an 88.33. Jimmy Coleman here sitting alongside Chris Morant, Diana Dahlgren out there in the field, and how about that performance that we saw out of Daniel Bodin, almost knocking on the door of the 90s, Chris, to get this opening round started.
Huge opening run from Daniel, big extension, using that tall linking frame to his advantage.
Taking a look at some highlights of how he put himself in that top spot as of right now.
Some of the biggest tricks in the book, only dude to ever land a double backflip. He's not scared.
And it was 2 years ago. Can you believe it? I mean, it seems like it was yesterday, but it was back in January of 2017. However, he is your current leader right now. By the way, let's not count out another Swede, Rasmus Johansson, youngest guy in the field, sitting in second with an 85 flat. But before we get to our next rider, let's check in right now with Diana down in the field.
Thanks, guys. Well, last year, a Cali roll got Brett Turcotte his gold medal. I just caught up with his camp, and they let me know that his first run is going to be a little conservative. He's going to come back here. He's going to see how he feels. Then he's going to go all out for a second pass. We're going to see if his second run can bring a trick that we've never seen before. We know that these judges love progression. Can he bring home a second gold medal this year?
Well, he never had a gold medal coming into the event last year, or into X Games Aspen, and he walked away with 2. He got one in speed and style the first night, following it up with a freestyle gold medal the next night. I don't know that I'm buying this conservative first run story, though. After what we saw to him at both his freestyle runs last year, are you buying it?
It'll be interesting to see what his definition of conservative is.
Well, by virtue of being last year's defending gold medalist, he gets to ride last in the competition. As we mentioned before, 8 riders in the field, 4 of them have already dropped in round 1. Daniel Bodin sits in the lead with an 88.33. This gentleman right here, he is very, very skilled when it comes to the world of freestyle snowmobile riding. He owns a total of 5 medals, 1 of them silver, 4 being bronze. Talking about Heath Frisby right here from Middleton, Idaho.
Yeah, Heath actually, so Heath is one of only 2 competitors in the field that has been competing in freestyle since its inception back in 2007.
It starts it off with a big flip combo right there. Runs are 75 seconds in length. Time starts when you hit the lip of your first jump. The best possible score you're looking at out here tonight is 100 points.
Heath had a different approach this year. One thing that is a big factor here in Aspen is the elevation, the lack of horsepower on the 600cc. That hurt.
Going a little deep right there. By the way, you said that his tenure here at X Games goes all the way back to the first contested Snowmobile Freestyle event in 2007, where he walked away with a medal at that one. Got a bronze. It goes into the history books. I said there's only been 7 gold medalists in this event, and one of them happens to be sitting to my left right here.
Well, it was an awesome event to be at and to take Heath down. He would smoke me right now, so it's...
Side hack right there, coming away off of that sled. I mentioned that he's got 5 freestyle medals. He has 11 total X Games medals overall. 3 gold, 2 silver, 6 bronze, to give you some stats on his accolades here at Aspen over the years.
Looks like Heath's going to get one more hit in here. What I was saying is Heath is the only only competitor with a fuel-injected engine, 850 cc's versus the competitor's 600 cc carbureted. And what that means here in Aspen with the additional elevation and loss of power is Heath is a lot less focused on the runability of his equipment and can focus more on his run.
Well, to tell the tale here, that last jump is not going to count on the score. The time had expired. You do have to be around the turn and lined up with the jump and under power before time expires for that last one to count. But let's take a look at some highlights of Mr. Frisby's first outing.
This first trick out of the gate was huge. Just perfection. Perfect landing, perfect extension. Good. This was the landing where Heath, yeah, I thought that was going to be the one where he hurt his wrist. You can see where he took his hand off the handlebar. Hopefully that doesn't affect him coming into the second round.
That'll slide him into third. He gets an 84.66, so he's looking at a bronze right now. Well, tomorrow, X Games Aspen continues on ABC with 5 hours of coverage starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. Then at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on ESPN, it's men's ski big air and Olympic gold medalist Chloe Kim competes in women's snowboard superpipe. All of our X Games coverage is also streaming live on the ESPN app. So Heath Frisby slides into the top 3 right there. So you need to get a score in the 80s if you're going to crack that top 3. Justin Hoyer coming your way next out of Ellsworth, Wisconsin. Now he comes into this year with absolutely no sponsors. He's actually a full-time commercial construction worker, which he's been doing off and on since age 18. He basically saves up his money all year long so he can come here and compete in freestyle at the X Games.
Well, what was crazy is Justin, I mean, literally came off the couch last year and ends up on the podium getting a bronze.
Yeah, took a couple-year hiatus there. He is a former gold medalist in this event, by the way. He got his back in 2010. So he does have the skills. He's been there before, so he knows what it takes to put together a run to try to impress those judges to walk out of here with the shiniest medal you can get.
Yeah, Justin's traveled all over the world doing freestyle shows, and it's great to see him competing again here at X Games.
I'm still looking back at that Daniel Bodin score, and again, Rasmus Johansson really, really impressed me. We still have a couple of guys to ride here. Coming down the final 30 seconds here for Justin. He floats back to the cutouts right there.
And these are big tricks. You know, talking with Justin during practice, he said, you know, I'm not bringing anything new that I haven't done before. All I want to do is perfect what I got locked in.
Yeah, it was good enough.
Huge right there.
It was good enough for a bronze medal last year after taking some time off. So why not come into this, go with the horse that brought you, right?
Yeah.
Down to his final seconds here, so this will be the last one for him with the ruler. Getting the sled vertical as well as the body. So what do you think this is going to do overall? I mean, you need an 84.66 or better if you're going to overtake Heath Frisby right now.
I mean, look with extension. I mean, look at that extension on a huge KOD flip.
Yeah, you got a little sideways on that one. You see the back end of the sled kind of drifting off to rider's right, just a tad there on that replay.
I think this puts him right on par with Frisby's score. I think, you know, these tricks were big enough. Look at that big holy grab.
You look at the grouping between Heath Frisby and Rasmus Johansson right now, 84.66 and an 85. So Justin with an 86 flat. He will overtake Heath Frisby, so that'll slide him into second right now behind Daniel Bodin. And now the 24-year-old from Sweden, Mr. Johansson, he sits in that number 3 position.
Judges liking those big tricks. Speaking of big tricks,
well, there's your 2017 in freestyle gold medalist. He also got that in 2016 as well, and he got his first one all the way back in 2009, which was the 3rd year that they actually contested this event. He holds the most gold medals in this event, and another key factor for Joe Parsons here, he's the only guy that has ever taken back-to-back gold medals in the history of snowmobile freestyle here at X Games Aspen. And by the way, he can possibly tie a record here tonight. Sean White, as you saw by that graphic, holds a total of 18 winter medals. If Parsons were to get a medal here tonight, he would tie that record.
Anytime you can associate the likes of Sean White with a snowmobiler, look at that.
Oh, the left hand comes off of the grip out on the landing, but he still stays on the sled.
What a save. Joe is so, he's got his run dialed with body variables and big tricks.
I'd love to see that again on the replay. That was almost like it was in 2 stages right there. That was insane.
That trick right there, that's Joe's signature trick, the gator wrestler. One of my favorite tricks. You know, Joe is the rider I love to watch the most. His smooth style is just so sweet to watch.
Oh, the cliffhanger to no-hander lander. That is something else. To jump that gap, you got a gap of 75 feet in that one there. The second coming towards the uphill run there. That one's at 65 feet, but you're landing without your hands on the bars. So he's just got to try to hold it together here for another 20 seconds. A lot of these guys, blue-collar workers in the offseason, they don't do this all year long. They actually hold down full-time jobs. Joe here has a 31-acre blueberry farm on leased land working with Darling Mountain Orchards. Takes several years to establish a blueberry crop, and the family's actually expecting their first one to be harvested this summer. So that's what he does when he's not out here at X Games Aspen.
It'll be interesting. Joe just got into the corner right as time expired.
Oh, you're kidding me. We saw this last year. He landed on that sled backwards, and that was on purpose. You're watching this at home. That was not an accident. He meant to do that. This is how Joe loves to end his runs.
This
Maybe
is how
not
Joe
the barricade running
Joe
in 2-part.
did not do this trick in practice, not once. Not once. Saved it for the final. It's just how Joe rolls. Here we go. Switching to go backwards on the sled and all the way back around.
So what's crazy about that is you're not just going all the way around. You're setting your feet once, and then you're doing it. Both the hands came off the bars. I didn't realize that at real-time speed. That was a heck of a save. What do you say about that? And this one's even crazier.
Claiming it a little too early. Coming in a little hot.
Into the snow fencing right there. But where do you even get the presence of mind to decide, you know what, I think it's a good idea to land backwards on something that weighs as much as my refrigerator?
He is the only competitor landing backwards like that.
Oh, my goodness, right there. So what is it going to be for Parsons? An 86.33, so that'll put him in the medal contention for right now. But before we get to our final rider, let's check out this Ubisoft Steep Athlete Profile with your defending gold medalist, Brett Turcotte.
What's up, guys? Brett Turcotte. As you can see, the wolf shirt is back, and so am I. And we're working on so many different things at once. It's a massive juggling act, but luckily for me, I got some good people in my corner. It's my wife at home, Nikki. My mechanic here, Nick, he just, he lets me focus on my riding. This year was the first year that I've hired a specific filmer to just capture it and let me review footage. I can wait a little bit longer to take my hand off. I'm spotting mistakes or I'm spotting successes, as they're happening. I want to go and get some more gold medals, so I'm trying to make every step possible to make that a reality, and we're here to take the world down, so I'm pretty excited.
A little bit of insight into some of the foam pit training that Brett Turcotte does at home. However, I do have to point out the style factor there. Did you see that wolf shirt that was going on? That's his good luck charm.
Brett said that's his mojo.
Yeah.
He cannot perform or execute without the wolf shirt. I promise you,
it's on under that jersey. He wore it last year when he got his 2 gold medals. He had come into last year's event with no gold medals. He walked out with 2 last year. He's competing in 3 different events out here this year. He'll be in Snowbike Cross on Saturday, and he'll be in Snowbike Best Trick on Sunday night. But he comes into this, all eyes were on him. Your defending freestyle gold medalist from last year. He owns a total of 2 freestyle medals, 1 gold, 1 bronze, and here we go. So much for this conservative start for Brett Turcotte. Oh, a new combo.
Brett,
the body varial
with the California roll.
Big with the can lander on that one.
What is so hard to describe to the you viewers at home is he's going off of this ramp with one hand sitting landing on the side of the snowmobile, and then following it up with a huge tsunami flip.
I told you, I wasn't buying that conservative start nonsense. They were just downplaying that one. He did that twice last year. That was a brand new trick to Snowmobile Freestyle last year, by the way. He did it his first trick, both runs in that gold medal performance.
As you mentioned, if this is conservative, round 2 is going to be scary.
If this is the conservative one, I'm scared to see what he's going to do in round number 2. By the way, he calls that shirt the magic lair, FYI. And so far, the magic is working. The mojo is there here in run number 1. Again, they get 2 runs out here in Snowmobile Freestyle. It's the better of your 2 that count.
You can notice Brett charging this course. Our first few competitors actually missed getting a run in because there's a lot of downtime on this track. And Brett, being he's actually a medalist in the snowcross as well. This is his strength.
So this last one will count. He was in the straightaway. He was under power, so this one will count for the run. But going back to what you were saying, yeah, you want to plan it out. You want to get your tricks down. But there's a mental game to this, to navigating those turns, getting yourself lined up. And you see him in between the landings. He seems to go into it a little bit hotter, a little bit faster than what we've seen some of the other 7 guys do. He is obviously feeling it after that first run with the magic lair. And I have to see a replay of that opening trick, the Cali roll. Right there.
And then had enough time.
At the last second, do you think he was planning that, or that was an afterthought where he said, I'm going to combo move this?
Well, I think he executed the trick so early, he had so much time, well, maybe I'll throw a combo into it.
Hey, why not? We're at that stage of freestyle evolution where you can see body varials with combos.
That Executioner 2 rock solid. Big trick.
All right, so Bodin's the top spot with an 88.33.
Bodin knows
What is
he's
it
in
going to
trouble.
be? We are into the 90s right now. Your defending gold medalist ends round 1 with a 90.66 to put him in that top spot. So you heard him in that piece. He said he wanted more gold. He's paved the way for it right now. However, we still have 1 more round to go, and everyone's going to get 1 more shot at it. But it's your defending gold medalist, Brett Turcotte, in the top spot. Daniel Bodin sitting in second, and Joe Parsons chasing an all-time winner medal record, sitting in third. We'll have round 2 from Snowmobile Freestyle when we come back.
X Games Aspen is brought to you by Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Daniel Bodin just barely getting knocked out there at the last minute by Brett Turcotte. Turcotte with a nice lead there, almost over 2 points. The one thing we're going to have to do to knock Turcotte out of that spot. That's a good question. This is the biggest bag of tricks. I know Daniel Bodin's got some more. He definitely knows what Parsons has more to take. So,
You know, I have been bullied, and it sucks. You know, it's tough. It happened to me all throughout my high school career, and you know, a lot of it just came from jealousy from other kids in my class. And I was doing successful things, and I had a life going for myself, and you know, some people didn't like that. If someone's making fun of you because you ride a scooter and you're at the skate park, or if you even see it happening to other kids, like, don't be afraid to step in and stand up for yourself, and don't be afraid to, you know, tell your parents or, you know, your coworkers or your friends or family. You know, that's your support system. You should definitely bank on that.
Those are your defending gold medalist Brett Turcotte talking about Shred Hate, a bullying prevention initiative. To learn more about that, you can find out about it over at xgames.com. We're here in round 2 out of 2 here in Snowmobile Freestyle. And the man you just saw in that Shred Hate piece, your defending gold medalist, currently sits in the #1 spot at the end of round 1. He's the only rider to score tonight in the 90s. He's in the driver's seat for right now, but there's still one more round, and it's the best run that counts, so it is still up for grabs. However, Chris, I do want to point out, look at Daniel Bodin right there, knocking on the door with an 88.33. He, too, a returning gold medalist, sitting in the #2 position.
And Daniel can clean up that run. I think Daniel's tricks were big enough. He could score in the 90s.
So we go back up to the top of the order. We do it all over again. Josh Penner will start it off here. Get 2 runs. It's the better of your 2 that count. The runs are 75 seconds in length as Josh Penner is on course. So Josh taking a little bit of time there in the corners. We had talked about that earlier. You saw Brett Turcotte had some speed, had some intensity lining up from jump to jump. Josh here kind of slowing it down just a tad.
So Josh put those flip levers down, which indicates he won't be doing an upside down trick where he needs to hold his body against those levers.
Actually missed some time practicing the offseason earlier in summer 2018, had a bad concussion and injured both wrists, and he didn't actually get a chance to get back on the sled and start training again until this past November.
Big flip trick there. Again, not quite the extension that Josh was looking for there.
Well, he had a couple of tentative ones in that first run, and that's what's got him down there at the bottom of the pack right now with that 76.33 as he gets to turn into the straightaway. This one's looking like it's going to be his last one as time's winding down. It almost looks like he wanted to add another combo out of that, but just by his body language, like maybe he's sizing something up to add into that flip.
Yep, and you can tell Josh, you know, not charging the course. He got one less run in there. During practice when he was doing his mock runs, he had planned on doing 6 full runs, but wasn't able to get those all in.
Seems swinging the leg out there on the knack-knack backflip, a 2-in-1 combo there, courtesy of Josh Penner.
Man, these slow-mo shots are so sweet.
Yeah, so the way he comes off of that heel clicker, it's almost like he wants to go back to Superman. He's thinking about it. Or maybe Indy, I don't know.
Had the time to do a combo there.
Yeah, definitely had the hang. I mean, I saw that in run #1, and I thought the same thing. We'll see with that run 2 score. So that will leave him in 8th place with that first run score being the better of the 2. Willie Elam coming in the mix here. Currently sits in 7th place. He had a couple of slow starts there in that first run. If he can clean it up a little bit here, we can see Willie jump up in the standings there. His first round score was a 78.66.
And the big thing with Willie's run is he's really progressed it into more upside down tricks. Not just doing a backflip, but now doing backflip combos.
Speaking of backflip combos, there you go with the knack flip. Performed in around 35 shows with Heath Frisby and Keith Sayers in the KSFMX demo team, so pretty busy guy.
And that's something that you can see in his riding style, just very comfortable on the sled, and just has that natural flow.
As I mentioned before, your speed and style bronze medalist from last year. That was his first X Games medal in 10 appearances.
Willie came out of the snowcross world, so again, why he did so well in the speed and style portion of things, being able to come over to the freestyle side. It's nice to have him.
Translate some of those racing skills in there while having some fun and throwing some tricks, getting under power here. This might be the last one, because he's only got 10 seconds left on the clock. see if he can get through this turn. Again, if you get yourself lined up, you're in the straightaway and you're underpowered, this one's going to be close. I don't know. We'll see with the flag. The yellow flag was out, so we're being told this one will not count here. I think this might be a better score for him, however, though, from that 78.66 we saw the first go around.
Yeah, it definitely was a cleaner run. You could tell just more comfortable on the sled, got those first round jitters out of the way.
And that's the thing, yes, all of this stuff is physical, but it's a head game as well as also the mechanical part of that. These guys, their mechanics working hard to make the sleds operate under maximum potential here at elevation, but get a bit of a head game in there. So an 82.66 for him, so that will bump up there. However, it won't improve the placing. He'll stay at 7th. The youngest rider in the field at 24 years old. He was sitting in a medal spot earlier. He just missed the podium last year. He was in 3rd. He now sits in 5th place. Does he have the depth of tricks here to try to throw some more combos in the mix here to try to jump back up and crack that top 3? You need an 86.33 or better if you're going to jump back into the top 3 and overtake Joe Parsons. It all comes down to this final 75 seconds for this young man. This is Rasmus Johansson.
From 3rd to 6th, it is super tight score-wise. Rasmus, oh man, they make me stop talking in the middle. It's such a big trick. You know, what Rasmus needs to do is he needs to hold these tricks, hold the extension, and just have a clean run. He has the big tricks to get him on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, definitely watched his riding grow over the last couple of years. I mean, he's been doing this since he was a young guy. 13 years old was his first experience with pro snowmobilers. They were actually shooting Babylon AD in his home country. You were actually there for that.
I was actually in that movie.
Yeah. And Joe Duncan, our sport organizer, said, hey, you know what? Come try it for X Games sometime. And here we are. Watching this guy at 24 years old do his thing here in 2019.
Yeah, 13-year-old kid just ripping around. I was like, man, this kid's going somewhere.
Oh, no! Completely comes off of the machine. He got away from the sled right there, which was key to that. But wow, that one was a scary moment there for Rasmus Johansson.
Oh, so thankful he got away from the sled there.
Well, listen to that ovation that he's getting from the crowd there, because everybody just with a gasp as that happened. We'll have to see the replay to see what happened. I mean, that was scary, but good to see him standing up, walking away from that under his own power. But again, getting away from the sled was key to that dismount. So all the left or the right hand came off.
He went to go do a grab, but then just, oh man.
Look at the air awareness though.
Getting away from the sled.
Well, the entire time he's looking for a second to spot where he's going to land, and then he's looking back at the sled to see how far away it is from him to get away from that. That was a close call right there.
It's such a hard hit, and I know it's snow and people think of snow as being soft, but these landings are as hard as a rock.
Yeah, there is nothing soft about it. Forget the fact that it's snow. I mean, you're launching yourself into the air over a 65 to 75 foot gap right there, and he appears to be okay, Rasmus Johansson. So again, you can see the ovation that he's getting from the crowd as he walks back over to athlete staging right there. I mean, seriously, everybody down there in the viewing corral just all collectively gasped. But he got up quick. I don't think anyone down there watching in the fan area knew how to react to that. And then you see it on the video wall and replay.
So great to see, and you know, these competitors make it look so easy. But at any time, just one little thing, you know, he just missed his grab, and it shows you just how technical this is.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, going back in my memory bank of years past of doing snowmobile freestyle here at the X Games, where someone has come off of the sled going into a flip combo right there. As you saw in that slow motion replay, the right hand just came off. And again, good to see him walking away under his own power. Talking to his fellow countryman there, Mr. Bodin, who currently sits in second place right now. Let's send it down to Diana, who's down there with Rasmus right now.
Yeah, you know what? We just spoke to him. He's not feeling well. He's going to go straight over to medical. He says that he'll come over, speak to us after he gets cleared, but he's not feeling good, guys.
That's not something you don't see every day. You got to bring in the snow forks right there to get the machine off the course right there. So he'll go over and talk to X Games Medical. We'll see if he'll come back out, talk to Diana, talk us through what happened there. Taking a look at the standings here as we get through the middle part of round number 2 out of 2. The big story right now, your defending gold medalist from last year, Brett Turcotte, sits in that top spot with a 90.66. If he's able to repeat and get another gold medal, it'll only be the second time in the history of this event at the X Games where a rider has won back-to-back gold medals. Taking a look at Daniel Bodin sitting in second right there, followed by Joe Parsons. By the way, Joe Parsons, that's another record that's being chased out here tonight. If he medals, doesn't matter what color, if he gets another one, it's 18. That will tie him with Sean White in overall Winter X Games medals. That is a huge, huge stat in itself. He was contending for that last year, had a bad X Games, trying to do it here in 2019. The X Games for Aspen continues Sunday on ESPN2 at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Then at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ESPN. We wrap it all up with men's snowboard superpipe. Harley-Davidson hill climb and 7-time X Games medalist Jackson Strong competes in snow bike best trick again. All of our X Games coverage is also streaming live on the ESPN app. He currently sits in a silver medal position. He is one of our returning gold medalists in the field. He took his gold medal back in 2011. This is Sweden's Daniel Bodin. You called it earlier, Chris. You said this could be a potential that could get up there and shake up the standings. That opening round, he did just that with an 88.33. He's obviously feeling fired up right now, but you see the way that he's entering the course here. What is Daniel Bodin going to bring to the party right here? And can he jump into the 90s and overtake Brett Turcotte?
Man, I just love Bodin's enthusiasm, his fire. He is just a wild man, and I think you gotta be a wild man to do freestyle, especially doing tricks like I really think he's feeling it right now. I would love for Bodin to put down this big giant run.
Obviously the super extension on that first hit right there. By the way, we've got Diana mic'd up down there in the field. Diana, your thoughts on this opening start to the run here for Daniel Bodin in round 2?
Chris, you're exactly right. He is feeling it. He feels like he can beat Brett Turcotte tonight. He's going to go big, but he's also going to play it safe because he got hurt last year and he wants to put in a solid run.
I'm going to go back to the theory. Oh, wow! I mean, how much more extended can you get? I don't know about this playing it safe stuff. We heard that on the Turcotte camp, and that didn't hold up in round number 1. And he definitely looks like he's got any other mindset than playing it safe. He's going for gold right now.
That was absolutely massive. Daniel is bringing all of his big, huge backflip combo tricks, let alone.
He only has one freestyle medal, and it's that gold performance from back in 2011. He owns a total of 5 X Games medals. He's got 3 gold and best trick and a silver, but only one freestyle. Unfortunately for him, it's the shiniest one you could possibly get. I don't think that this last one's going to count because he didn't get into the straightaway there. And their flag guys are waving him off, so this one is not going to count. So he's going to send this one anyway. So it was a repeat trick, however, not going to hurt the score because time had expired. That one's not going to count, but how about the performance that we just saw out of Daniel Bodin?
I mean, I'm literally speechless watching it. I mean, it's just incredibly huge, massive extension, and just making that trick look just ridiculous.
I mean, he's usually pretty calm and collected, but by the way that he came out of the start area and just how fired up he looked, you could tell that we were in store for something big.
You could exactly tell, and that's the Daniel I always hope to see when it comes to X Games. Look at that trick. That's so... a Shaolin flip.
Yeah, a bar hop combo right there. You get those feet over the bars and spread your legs out. I mean, that one's scary because if you hit your heels on the bars coming back over, that is a monster. So what's, oh, at 91.66, he was feeling it, and now he's in the lead. We have a lead change. It is now Bodin, Turcotte, and Parsons. You're 1, 2, 3. We have a battle brewing here in Snowmobile Freestyle tonight, Chris Moran.
He didn't beat him by a little either. That's a full
That is a full
point.
point differential right there. So now we heard rumors of Brett Turcotte with some new tricks. Now you're going to have to bring that stuff because that is a full point differential between those two gentlemen. Wow. Heath Frisby coming your way right now. 11 overall X Games medals. 5 of those in freestyle. He's got a silver, 4 bronze. He's got 4 in best trick, 2 of those being gold, and 2 bronze. He's never taken a gold here in freestyle. His best performance was a silver. He currently sits in 6th place right now. Man, where do we go from here? I'm getting goosebumps after what we just saw to Daniel Bodin. He's underpowered. Here we go. Heath Frisby, second and final run.
Well, I think Heath, after watching that run from Bodin, Heath just doesn't have that bag of tricks. And, I mean, you can see kind of Heath's demeanor right here. Just, I mean, he's playing around, riding his snowmobile at X Games. You know, pretty standard stock flip right there for Heath.
Almost looked like getting the hands off the bars was a bit of an afterthought right there as he took him off late and it almost sent him into a bit of an over-rotation. By the way, to his stats, he brought us the front flip, the snowmobile front flip, back in 2012, and he's the only person to land one to this date, by the way, just to give you some of his stat credits.
And by the way, that last trick, that wasn't just a stock trick. That was huge.
So coming down to the final 25 seconds here, his first run, he had an 84.66. Again, the story as of right now, Daniel Bodin has claimed the lead here in the second round. Brett Turcotte sits in second. He will get a second and final run still to come. This will probably be the last hit for Heath Frisby. The knack flip right there, the combo. You get the knack and the back flip right there. So 2-in-1.
It's always good to see Mr. Heath Frisby here at X. He's been a staple of freestyle snowmobiling since the beginning, and
all the way back to 2007.
For Heath to continue to be competitive in this sport, it's just awesome to see, and it really shows his passion and desire for the sport of freestyle snowmobiling.
And those first 3 years, he medaled the first 3 times, 2007, 2008, and 9. He walked away with the bronze those first 3 years of snowmobile freestyle. So again, 84.66 for him for that first go around. That'll leave him in 6th place out here on the night. So we are down to our final 3 competitors. Daniel Bodin has claimed the lead here in round number 2. Can Brett Turcotte take it back? We will find out when we come back to X Games Aspen for the conclusion of Snowmobile Freestyle.
I mean, it's unreal. I broke my thumb 5 weeks ago, but that takes 2.5 months to heal. I pulled the pins out myself about 3 weeks ago. All in for X Games. I mean, this is my life. This is what I do.
Well, injuries have been part of the game for you over the years. And I was just, after your first run, I was like, oh, let's see if he runs the second run. You went all in. You saw what Brett threw down. You knew he's been working on a lot of things. How do you look at the progression of the sport right now?
I mean, it's unreal. I've been hurt lately a lot, you know, like, and I was going like 110%. And now it's 80% the first run. See what the other guys do, and I saw Turcotte, so I did a killer run. And I knew I had to do all in, everything I could, and I'm at first place right now, but Turcotte, you never know. We've been riding a lot with myself, because that's very talented ride.
And what about now? You're the guy who passed away. You're in the middle of the field, you got heavy hitters still to go. You sit here nervously, or do you go, okay, I did everything I got, and now it's just time to hang in there?
It's pretty much, I did everything I could. I'm so happy. I mean, first of all, it's just a bonus for me to just go to X Games and see what I can do, and then ending up first place. And I knew
X Games Aspen is brought to you by Pacifico, who reminds you to live life anchors up. Drink responsibly. And Harley Davidson. Explore more thrill at h-d.com/xgames.
My name is Vegard. I'm 27 years old and I live in Sogndal in Western Norway. And my focus is mainly on nature and action sports photography. We've really wanted to do something with this cabin for a while. It has really cool architecture and it looks like it's possible to ski off the roof. So we built a ramp on top of the roof to get enough speed, and it actually works pretty well. Yeah! The first time we tried to take the photo, the flash didn't work. So we had to come back a few weeks later. But when we came back, the conditions were good and the flash worked. So Knut jumped off the roof and that was it. We had the photo.
Well, the X Games Zoom contest is a fan vote contest which celebrates the best in action sports photography. You can actually check out the photos if you're on site here at X Games Aspen, but you can also do it online if you're watching at home. So if you want to go vote for your favorite, you have to visit xgames.com/Zoom. The winner gets an X Games gold medal, and they also get a $10,000 prize purse as well. It's really cool. There's some amazing photos on there. So again, I encourage you, get on there, xgames.com/Zoom, and check it all out. Right now, we're checking out the conclusion of the Snowmobile Freestyle final. We have 3 riders left to go, and the big shakeup happened here in round number 2. It was Daniel Bodin, your 2011 gold medalist, who comes out with a 91.66 to claim the top spot, which bumps your defending gold medalist from last year, Brett Turcotte, into the number 2 position. And it wasn't just that he was in the 90s, there was a full point separation between the two, so that was a monster run.
We have a couple battles brewing here, and one is with Justin Hoyer here. I think Justin can get onto the podium, and that would be a huge feat for him. He comes in here just to ride X Games. I mean, you know, last year he came in after 2 years of not riding and gets a medal, to be honest, unexpectedly.
And comes into this thing with absolutely no sponsors. And by the way, we mentioned this in his first run, he does hold the gold medal in this event. He won the year before Daniel Bodin. He took his gold medal in 2010. So he's 1 spot out of the podium right now. He's got 75 seconds here to try to impress the judges. It's Justin Hoyer.
Justin is a gnarly man on a sled with a very smooth style, and I think that's one thing that the judges really like to see, is how smooth Hoyer is on the course.
Yeah, that smoothness, that style, definitely part of the equation the judges are looking for. We've got Diana mic'd up down there in the field. Let's bring her back into the conversation here for Justin's second attempt.
Justin Hoyer said he was feeling good earlier. He needs to get in that 6th trick. He's going to work really hard. Also catching up with Rasmus Johansson, coming back from medical, holding his ribs. He doesn't really feel too good, but he's going to seek more medical professional from X Games Medical.
I actually am hearing Justin's sled. It sounds like it's falling down on 1 cylinder. That is, and for him to still... Oh, that like made my heart move right there. So in the corner here, Justin Snowmobile, it's a 2-cylinder sled. It's falling on 1 cylinder, but it seems to clear up when he's going into the ramp.
So yeah, these things do tend to run different up here at elevation. And the mechanics over the years, we've seen these guys, they've had some fits trying to get these sleds to operate, you know, at maximum peak performance here.
You can see Justin blipping the throttle. That's basically to keep it from loading up there.
That last one counted. He managed to squeak that one in there. So I would say better clock management this time around. Again, in between the jumps, you see these guys trying to line it up a little bit quicker. You saw Brett Turcotte at the end of round 1 using a lot of speed in those turns. So Justin Hoyer definitely cleaning it up here in round 2 in the corners.
One of my favorite tricks, the holy grab, basically letting go completely of the snowmobile and hoping you grab the seat coming back in.
The Indy flip right there, get those feet off the sled and give it the old scissor kick. That one, a great slow-mo angle of that one to make you really fully appreciate that trick, courtesy of Mr. Hoyer.
And this is another trick that none of the other competitors are doing. He's basically laying on the hood of his snowmobile, getting that almost a ruler type.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his face on the hood of the sled right there as he goes through that. So he had an 86 flat the first time around. It's got him one spot out of podium contention, an 87.33. So Justin Hoyer has jumped up into third place. So we are seeing some changes go down here.
And that might as well be a gold medal for Justin Hoyer. He is so pumped right now to be on the podium with the top athletes in the world.
Coming up next at Sports Center from LA with Stan and Neil, they'll show you if James Harden kept up his historic scoring pace against the Raptors. Plus, Giannis and the Bucks try to move to the top of the East. And Tigers' second round at the easier North Course in Torrey Pines. Sports Center next, right here on ESPN and the ESPN app. So here we go. Joe Parsons was sitting in a medal spot. He was looking to tie in a winter X Games record with 18 medals. If he was to get one tonight, he would tie Shaun White with 18 medals. He was in the driver's seat for that, but he's been bumped out now by Justin Hoyer, who now sits in third. So we have a snowmobile chess match going on right now as Joe Parsons has 75 seconds to try to counter back and jump back into that top three, Chris.
This has been a roller coaster of emotions for me right now. I mean, Joe was in the position to tie Shaun White with 18 medals, and now he's got to go out and put a Joe Parsons run together to get that medal.
Oh, comes up short with a little bit of a deck check right there on that first jump.
That was very uncharacteristic of Joe. Joe is one of those guys who I literally think he can land in the same spot time after time after time. Very consistent.
Down. Oh my goodness, he was completely sideways off the sled, holding on with one hand. Can't wait to see the replay of that one.
It's interesting, Joe kind of just putting around the track here. Be interesting to see if he can get in all 6 jumps.
So of those 17 medals that he owns, 5 of them are gold. He has 7 silver and 5 bronze. In the freestyle ranks, he's got 3 gold and 5 silver, so 8 total in this event alone.
There's my trick, the Gator Wrestler. I don't know if I like the trick or the name better.
I'm a fan of the name. I had to learn the semantics of that one, courtesy of Paul Thacker. Well, my first year out here doing the live event announcing. Final 10 seconds here for Joe Parsons. Having some fun with that one right there. By the way, most gold medals in snowmobile freestyle. He's got a total of 3. Only guy in the record books to win back-to-back gold medals. Got those in 2016 and 2017. Look at this. Look at how far off the bike, our sled, and how inverted he is right there. That is insane.
Came up a little short on that.
And then this one,
just
not quite the same leg positioning, but he's one-handed at that point. And one-hander lander. I didn't notice that one at real-time speed as well. So he is going to have to settle for 4th out here today, so he is not going to get that record of tying Shaun White. So now we're down to our final showdown here. Your defending gold medalist. He's going to walk out of here with another freestyle medal. He could do no worse than silver. He is 1 full point behind that gentleman right there, Daniel Bodin.
Well, chatting with Turcotte in practice, he said in round 2, if I have to get gnarly, I can get gnarly.
Well, we're about to find out in the span of the next 75 seconds, so hold on to your breath, ladies and gentlemen. Will this be 2 years in a row where he brings a new trick to snowmobile freestyle? Brett Turcotte is on course.
Wow, that trick has just such high consequence to not only get back to the sled, to take off on the ramp with one hand. It's just a gnarly trick.
And you've seen him do it time and time again, and it still makes you hold your breath when he does it. Daniel Bodin, your current leader, nervously watching the remaining 50 seconds of this run for your defending champ from last year, Brett Turcotte, who's also competing in 3 events out here this weekend in Aspen.
That was big, huge extension. This is where all those long days of jumping into the pit, jumping into the airbag, this is when you hope it all pays off.
Down to the final 30 seconds here. Going back to those other events he's competing in this weekend, he's got Snowbike Cross tomorrow. He's got Snowbike Best Trick on Sunday night. So running a trifecta out here this weekend at Buttermilk Mountain.
So far, this is the same run as round one. Oh, that was big.
Okay, so down to this last handful of seconds. You see the flip levers going down. If he can get turned around, get under power, this last one should count. Will this be a brand new trick?
He needs to get this hit in.
I don't know that, I was just going to say, I don't know that that's going to be enough. As we said, he is assured of medal. He can do no worse than silver. There's your current leader, Daniel Bodin, who's thinking that might be enough to get me another gold medal in this event. Look at the start of the run, though. Look at where his hand is.
I mean, how do you do that? I ride a sled 6 days a week, and I still don't know how he does that.
Did you see the right foot got a little hung up getting back on both sides of the back of the sled there? Wow, that could have been disastrous right there for Brett Turcotte, but good save. Great extension, body completely vertical right there on that heart attack backflip. So again, Daniel Bodin leads with a 91.66. So what do you walk that plank with me? You think Bodin's got this one, or is Brett going to edge him out here? This one's going to be close.
I mean, Brett did everything he needed to do in his run. He had great extension, great amplitude, perfect landings, but were they big enough to beat Bodin?
Well, we're going to find out as you see him lined up there in athlete staging right there. So a 90.66, so that is not going to be good enough. So there you go. Daniel Bodin is going to claim his second Snowmobile Freestyle gold medal here in the history of this event at the X Games. Again, he got his first gold back in 2011. He follows it up here in 2019. Let's send it down to Diana, who is with our winner.
Daniel Bodin, you told me earlier that you were gonna beat Brett Turcotte in your second run. You did, and you've just earned your second gold medal in freestyle. Express the emotion that's running through your brain right now.
I'm in shock. I didn't even expect to be here. We're coming from a broken thumb, 1 week of practice, and I've seen Turcotte. I've been following him on the internet, you know, and look what he's up to, and he learned so many new tricks, and like, this is gonna be a tough one. And I can't believe it. Gold. The last goal I took was 2011. I guess old dogs can still do tricks.
Daniel Bodin earning gold here. Congratulations, Jimmy Chris. Back to you.
Can't believe it.
You know, what a story. I mean, the injured thumb and 1 week of practice, and I like how he's lurking on Instagram and he wants to see what Brett's up to.
It's why I call Bodin my wild card. Bodin can throw down at any time, at any event. So big. Congratulations, Daniel.
Well, when it's all said and done here in Snowmobile Freestyle, Justin Hoyer ends up sneaking in to get the bronze. Brett Turcotte has to settle for silver here in 2019, and Daniel Bodin adds another medal in freestyle to his trophy case, and it just happens to be another gold. Well, what a great night of competition here in Snowmobile Freestyle. We saw some exciting changes here in round number 2. When it's all said and done, Daniel Bodin gets the win. Stick around. We'll have more from Aspen here in 2019.
Maybe I'm to blame. Little jacked up inside the brain. I belong in some asylum. I feel like a pilot going down, but I still can't hit the ground. You can find me ducking out and find an island they say could never be found. And from the
Little bummed, to be honest. I put everything on the line. I just did a trick of the last part of my run that I've never even landed into the foam pit. Double grab backflip on a 70-foot ramp. I mean, well, I mean, looking at that body roll that he did see there, it looked like he almost got sucked off the back of the sled. Your feet were